really was the material that Michelle Maren filmed with this little camera that I loaned her that sparkled in a way that really intrigued me. The way she shot those scenes, the lighting, her wardrobe, the theatricality at times of the monologues to camera that were so authentic and rich. And when she she had the camera on a tripod, and then she tied that to a shopping cart and did tracking shots through hallways and out in the streets where she lives. I said, wow, I mean, this is so inventive. And that's what really convinced me to get involved and work on this project.
For me, it was extremely healing, obviously, and it was so cathartic. When I sat down at my computer on January 15th, 2008, and was divinely inspired to contact Michel Negroponte, I didn't know about the healing aspects that were to come into my life because of this film. All I knew is that this idea hit me out of the blue to contact the man who made Jupiter's Wife, a film that I had seen, as you saw in the film, over 80 times. I had no idea that it would facilitate the healing of my pain, this pain that I had carried around with me over 50 years. I thought I would never see the light again. It took the making of this film to facilitate my recovery. That is what made me a whole person again.
The first part of the film is Michelle Maren's film. The second part, the middle part of the film, is our film. We go out into the world together. It starts with the healing journey where I'm filming Michelle Maren in kind of more classic verite fashion. And then the third part of the film is messy. I mean, I sort of say it's kind of my part of the film because I kind of walk around from behind the camera and I intrude in several different ways. But I think that's also part of the story, and in a way, you know, it really did begin as the autobiography of Michelle Maren and ended as, you know, somewhere, you know, well, I was going to say it ended as an autobiography of Michelle Maren. Anyway, the journey we took from beginning to end was, you know, it's absolutely nowhere. I mean, I had no idea that this is what would happen and how the film would unfold. So I hope the film also captures that sense of spirit and adventure that a documentary should.
How did you get out of the porn industry? Because that seems to be a place where people that are having problems tend to end up and then they get trapped.
Well, I worked in the sex industry, and I did so many different aspects of the sex industry. I was a go-go dancer, both in Jersey and topless in New York. I posed in magazines. I even wrote articles. Sometimes I worked behind the scenes, and I was a porn star, and I worked in escort services. I worked in the sex industry for 8 years of my life. What shook me to my core was I was working in an escort service, and one of my fellow escorts, I hadn't seen her in a while, and I asked one of the other ladies, where is she? I hadn't seen her in the last few months. And she told me, well, she died of AIDS. It shook me to my core that I walked out that day and I never went back.
What made you watch Jupiter's Wife 80 times, and why did it take you so long to get in touch with Michelle?
Every time I saw the film, all 80 times, and now it's been even more. Every time, even to this day, I see the film, I see something I hadn't seen before, and that's a great film. And why it took so long, I hadn't even thought about it. It hadn't occurred to me to contact Michel Negroponte until January 15, 2008. That's the honest truth. I don't think I would ever have the courage to contact a filmmaker out of the blue. I had never contacted any other filmmaker. I never saw any other works by Michel Negroponte. I'd only seen Jupiter's Wife. This is why I call it divine inspiration, because it doesn't make any sense at all. But yet, here we are.
How do you feel watching the movie now?
It is surreal. I do have to step back. I don't think I'll process this whole thing until maybe 2 weeks from now, or if ever. if you can imagine any one of yourselves seeing your life on the big screen and with all your secrets exposed, it is quite something. So I haven't completely processed it yet because it is, I hate to use the word that's been used so much in this film, overwhelming. But tonight it's exciting, I'm thrilled. You guys, you need to give yourselves a round of applause because you have had such wonderful reactions. It's been so fulfilling. So thank all of you for making it such a wonderful experience for us.
The film, what else has helped you?
What does this have?
You mean in the healing process? I think I had an epiphany one day, maybe a couple of years ago, that a lot of my mental illness was about believing lies. When I was first diagnosed with borderline personality disorder many years ago, I was told that it was untreatable, and I felt that everything was hopeless. It was all a lie. It was a lie. The thing that helped me the most was seeing the truth, was seeing beyond the lies. And that's what's facilitated my recovery the most. Living in the truth.
I just wanted to thank everybody for being here and just say also that I think that for Michelle Maren to make this film and to share such a personal and private part of her life is an incredibly bold thing to do, and I want to thank you.
Oh.